Happy Friday, and thanks for joining me today on Fridays with Flora. And today we are going to visit my favorite park in the city. Again, I know I've done a couple of these videos, but this is one of my favorite parks because it really does highlight what natives can do to a space. And as you know, I'm a big bee and pollinator advocate and native plant advocate. I've definitely changed my gardening philosophy and style to include a lot more native plants. So, as I promised, we are going to look and see what the height of summer is bringing as far as natives. So take a walk with me. We'll keep it short and sweet, but we'll take a look at what's blooming now as we look at early August, end of July kind of blooms, whereas before I had more of an early July video. You can look at all of my walks and my videos in my Save the Bee, Flora and the Bees series on the channel. So you can take a look at all the different stages of natives as it relates to different seasons and get inspired on what you could do in your own yard. So join me today on a really fun summer walk. All right, here we are with like the height of summer blooms in the native land. Vervain, look at those bees. Swamp milkweed, look at that. Bees are on that too. Take a gander on what else we can see today at the Humboldt Park. Butterfly and bird sanctuary, which they should also include bees because they are just all over. I think that's yellow coneflower over there. And this is common milkweed, and there's still a lot of bug action on this. I feature this in my native plants for containers and pots. This is horsetail, rough horsetail. And it's super cool, and you can put it in a pot as a stunner at the center, and it'll give you really cool, just vertical kind of design in your pot. And this wasn't here the last time we walked, but check it out now. Super awesome, really pretty. Brown-eyed Susans. They're really, really cute. I think I'm spying some rose mallow. Look at how pretty. They get pretty tall. Okay, I'm super excited about this. Joe Pye weed. And it does get big, so, you know, in my books, this is in the super tall section. It gets kind of beastie, so you gotta give it some room. But lots of bees are stopping by, so bees love it. It's so pretty. It's kind of like swamp milkweed and Queen of the Prairie had a baby. All right, we're edging towards the butterfly sanctuary, so maybe we'll see some new things. Here's another happy little treasure, obedient plant, just starting. Super cool plant. Oh my gosh, look at this. Rose mallow, y'all. Rose mallow. So beautiful. Let's see if I can get even a little closer for you, but nope, that's as close as I'm gonna be able to get it. It's like the tropics, but it's the Midwest. It can survive our winters. So beautiful. So a lot of the native onions now, not the spring alliums, but the prairie onions are all in bloom. These are, I'm pretty sure, nodding onions. And there's a little bee right there. I don't know if you can see it. He's flitting around. There's some butterfly weed. Bees love it. See that bee? Wow, guys, just a sea of bee balm, coreopsis. Look at that. It's like a meadow in France. Oh, I spy with my little eye a fescue. That's either blue fescue or California fescue, although I'm doubting California fescue would be here in the Midwest. So I'm going to guess blue fescue. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments kindly. I talk about fescues, and I've picked a lot of fescues for my native plant in pots book because you can see it's very compact. It grows in tidy clumps, and it would look lovely at the center of a pot with some trailers on the edge, you know, and some filler of color along the bottom. So don't forget fescues. They're really great, and they're host plants to some moths, I think. All right, well, that concludes our summer walk, our native plant summer walk for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope that it inspired you a little bit to just start bringing in some native plants in your own outdoor space. And I don't want you to feel intimidated by what you saw today, too, because Humboldt Park is a big space, and you can put really big prairie plants there, and they have room to grow and compete. I know that that's often a concern for a lot of gardeners, is bringing in a lot of native plants to their own established gardens. And just know that each of those plant families have species within them that are less tall, less aggressive, and to that end, I really spent some time this year working on this book, and it's called Be Native Flower Pot Power. And basically, I've done a lot of research to put together native plants that work within pots, that work within smaller spaces, particularly for my fellow urban gardeners that have very little space. But even for a lot of you that have, you know, big gardens, but that are established and you're just really concerned about putting in some native plants, because they have a stigma for being really aggressive or just getting really big and bossy. So in this book, Be Native Flower Pot Power, these are plants that either A, are aggressive and you can put them in pots to keep them under control, and I think a lot of people kind of forget that they could do that and still help the bees and the butterflies. And they also have, this book has a lot of species that are less aggressive than their prairie cousins. For instance, there's quite a few goldenrods in here, like dwarf goldenrod, wreath goldenrod. There's a few even blazing stars that you can use. Usually they're known to be very tall and very aggressive, but the bees love them. So look to this book. It's on Amazon. You can get it in a Kindle format and a paperback. It has all my hand-done illustrations in them that I'm very, very proud of. There's a lot of great information on just using containers and planting plants in containers. Really good advice, even just on watering when you're away. So please take a look at it. I'm just trying to get everybody to understand that everyone can make an effort in helping the planet by helping our pollinators. And something I'm super excited about is an alphabet book for little ones. So this is B is for bee, P is for pollen, has a lot of my illustrations in it. These illustrations are, I decided to do something really looser and more fun with watercolors, and you can teach littles how to think about the alphabet and think about pollinators and even just our natural world in general and how everything's kind of interdependent. It's really sweet and cute, and I'm really proud of it, and I love it very, very much. I was asked to read my other children's book at the Patty Notebert Museum in Chicago for the Green City Market story time. And I was super excited about it, but that book, Summer's Flight, Pollen's Delight, is for slightly older children that have a more extensive reading capability. So when I was there, I had all these cute littles, like 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, and I think I had one 4-year-old. So we just looked at the pictures and we talked about the different insects in the book, but I didn't really read the book in general. But it inspired me to do something for littles that have a really wonderful curiosity, and you can teach them early through the ABCs that the pollinator world is really diverse, that everything's interconnected, and that the world is a lovely place, and that they can really play an important part in it. So take a look at that book too. It's on Amazon. I'm super, super excited about it. You can get it in a paperback for like $15.99, and the Kindle is obviously cheaper. But it's never too early to teach others about our natural world and how we can help it. So anyway, I know that was a really long finish to this video, but I've just had a lot going on that I'm super, super excited about. Anyway, if you're interested in what we're doing here, gardening is going to start to wind down, so we're going to be doing a lot more indoor things. And the blog is almost done, and it's looking beautiful, so I will send out a note to the community when that is up and running, and there's going to be a whole lot more happening there. So, stay safe, everyone. I know it's crazy out there, but you know what? Look to the garden to be safe and sane. So that's all I can say. Please subscribe. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the last days of summer.